What is up, everybody? Welcome to Archon TV What Show V3 Episode 8, the E3 Aftermath. As always, I'm Archon Toonami with my co-host,
Sir Fat Nuts.
And since you guys probably missed us last week, this week we brought with us, like I said, the E3 Aftermath. We're going to break down Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft's conferences, what we personally thought of them, and then at the end we'll also, I guess, talk about EA, Ubisoft, and Square Enix's conferences just in one giant rush. We're changing the format this week. We're going to try to do 2 minutes a topic. We'll see how it goes. Personally, I thought Microsoft did a wonderful job. Granted, you have to remember that all the games they showcased, only I think like 18 of them or 16 of them were exclusives, and most of them were just indie games, and there was 3 Gears games, a Halo game, and there was one other one I can't think of off the top of my head right now that was exclusive. The rest were just timed. So for as bright and flashy as it was, you have to remember that Microsoft didn't really show off anything major. Like, there really was no super exclusives for them, so it was kind of still a weak conference for them overall. But at the same time, they got all the world premieres, which is what everybody was looking to see.
Yeah. Like, Jump Force.
That looked wonderful. Yeah, that game looks amazing. I can't wait to play that. I played J-Star's Victory Versus. It was a pretty good game. Has like all your Jump characters in it, like Ichigo from Bleach. It had Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho. There was somebody who talked to the developer with it, and they were trying to get hints at what was going to be in the game, and they were talking about All Might, maybe from My Hero Academia, or Deku, and they wouldn't say, and they also wouldn't say anything about Yusuke being in the game, which kind of, I think, implies that they might be in the game, since they weren't allowed to say anything about it. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays. Do you play as Light, or do you play as Ryuk? I mean, it already showed Goku, it showed Luffy, it showed Frieza. I think those were the main ones they showed. And then, obviously,
Naruto.
Light and Ryuk. Oh, yeah, Naruto as well. Just surprised we didn't get older Naruto in that trailer.
You got the Kid Naruto.
Well, yeah, we got the Naruto Shippuden Naruto instead of Boruto, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, overall, that game looks amazing. I can't wait to see it come out. Surprised we didn't get any Soul Calibur 6 either. We didn't technically get any at any of the conferences. We're only covering the stuff that was at the conferences, not what was on the show floor. There was Soul Calibur 6 at the show floor. But I think it was just Yoshimitsu was added, and you were able to play him live. Other than that,
Wait,
Devil May
he
Cry
wasn't on
5.
the last one?
Yo, he was in the last ones, but they're still revealing characters for the game.
I was gonna say he's been the legend since the first Soul Calibur with his pogo
since Solid.
swords.
I mean, Maxie's in, Yoshi's in. I don't know who else has been announced. Killick, Nightmare, Siegfried, Ivy.
Speaking of fighting games, though, Nintendo is coming out with the new Smash Bros.
Yeah.
That Nintendo conference was intense.
I think it was good. I mean, it wasn't anything mind-blowing. Like, we didn't get a new Yoshi game like we thought we were going to get. We didn't get it. I don't think we had a look at Metroid Prime, did we?
No. Well,
No.
They showed Metroid on there, but I think it was for the new Smash Bros.
Well, yeah, they showed Ridley and being announced, and obviously Samus.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, Smash Bros was amazing. But yeah, there was no big announcement for it. I think they also had Fortnite, obviously, which was playable the day of. The 2 Pokemon games. Fire Emblem. I'm trying to think of what else.
Well, they had that Pokemon game is gonna be intense. I like the fact that you're gonna have a real Pokemon to carry around. I carried out a Pokemon when I was 9. That's pretty awesome.
I'd say the main thing about the whole thing is that they're tying it into Pokemon Go, so there's actually a reason for Pokemon Go now.
Yeah. I mean, I spoofed most of it, so.
They did announce a new Mario Party 2 as well, which to me is kind of cool and kind of interesting. It looked like it was going to be more of the classic Mario Party, but it also looked like it had the same of the newer stuff where you move together as a group, which I don't really like that as a Mario Party concept. I just think it's dumb. Yeah, I'd rather have everybody individually making plays than, have to try to time my dice roll with going towards, like, the objective, That to me just doesn't sound fun. I like having that freedom. No Donkey Kong game either this year.
Well, they already came out with Country.
No, those are remakes from the Wii.
Yeah.
Tropical Freeze was a remaster from the Wii. Like, I actually meant a legit new, like, fresh Donkey Kong game. Yeah, so I'm guessing we'll get one of those next year at E3 with Yoshi. And we might also get Metroid Prime 4. We knew Smash was coming, though. That was going to be their big finale. I've got to get my hands on a Switch. Like, I really want one now. December 7th.
I think Sony needs to step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What? They didn't have much, did they?
Well, here, let's jump into Sony. What Sony had was, they had said this before, though, that they were going to do this. They had The Last of Us 2, which we knew was coming. Death Stranding, which we knew was going to be there. They talked about Ghost, which we knew was going to be a thing. What was the last one? There's one more title, and I'm blanking. Ghost, Last of Us, Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the fourth title that was going to be there. Honestly, like, I've had about enough of seeing the Spider-Man game personally. They've shown it for an entire year. That's been their main staple at every conference so far. Last E3, it was their 30-minute, like, ender. At the PlayStation Experience, same thing. It ended the show, 20 minutes. And this year, it was another big talked-about game, 20 minutes.
Where's the game?
It's supposed to be out this year, so this will be the last time, hopefully, we see it before it's out.
I mean, yeah, you're right. There's nothing wrong with it, except for the fact that it's just been hype for the last 3 years.
It's been hype for the last year, yeah, the whole year. Like, that's what Sony's been banking on. It's almost like this is, like, one of the only games they have coming out this year that's an exclusive. Yeah. I think that might actually be true, because The Last of Us won't be out, I think, this year. Death Stranding won't be this year. Ghost definitely won't be this year. The gameplay for Ghost looked pretty cool, though. They did show off, the one thing that they had that was a big surprise was the Resident Evil 2 remake. They did have one surprise up their sleeve, and that was it. I mean, we knew it was coming, but we didn't know what it was going to look like. And we got that this year. And the crazy thing is that Final Fantasy VII Remake was actually announced the same time that Resident Evil 2 Remake was announced. And we got nothing about FF7 Remake. So.
Well, Microsoft got the Kingdom.
They did get Kingdom Hearts. Sony had an exclusive trailer that wasn't showcased at the Square Enix conference or the Microsoft one. So they did get something there too. They did get an exclusive like story trailer, which was also pretty big for them. So I guess we can move on to Square, EA, and Ubisoft, right? They didn't really show off anything new, which was disappointing for Square. Like, there was no Final Fantasy at all at the conference. It was all either Kingdom Hearts or, Dragon Quest-related stuff at their conference. Or I guess E3 as a whole was more Kingdom Hearts. Like, I think Microsoft and Sony both had trailers. And then Square obviously showed a trailer again at their conference. The only games that they talked about was Babylon's Fall and Dragon Quest, I think 11 were the only two games that weren't announced at another conference. Everything else was just rehashed. It was really disappointing to see. I think that they were going to have something else there at the show, and just last minute it got cut. Because it was all pre-recorded. And it said to stick around at the end for something special, and I think it was supposed to be either the FF7 remake trailer, maybe, or an FF16 trailer of some kind. And it just didn't get done in time for the video, and they just didn't edit it out, I guess. They let it go as was. It was, I think, EA and Square had one of the most disappointing conferences in a long time. Sony was the most disappointing out of the big three, but I think Square and EA kind of ate the cake for the worst conference overall, in general. I'll probably do a breakdown trailer at the YouTube with Kingdom Hearts 3. I'll probably get the trailer and whatnot and kind of break down what I see in it, because it is pretty revealing, like what you will be experiencing in the new game. I mean, there's even some story stuff that you can kind of pick apart.
Yeah.
But for Archon TV What episode 8, stick around for Anime Corner, or the Archon TV What anime recommendation of the week, whichever you prefer the name to be, which will be exclusively on the YouTube. And I guess we'll sign out this way. For Archon TV What episode 8, I'm Archon Tsunami.
Sir Fatnuts.
And we will see you right back here next week. Same time, same place. And better than ever, hopefully. Later.
What is up, everybody? Archon Tsunami here, bringing you the Archon TV What anime recommendation of the week. This week is Code Geass in honor of the third season coming out here soon, which is Code Geass Lelouch the Resurrection. I don't know the specific date it comes out, but it's coming soon, or it's in the works. Anyway, let's hop into it. The story is about a boy named Lelouch V. Britannia, who is also part Japanese. His father is a royal, his mother is the Japanese. And it's a bad thing because they just lost a war, the Japanese did, to Britannia. And the 11s, as they're called, are treated horribly. They're treated as second-class citizens. And basically people just, spit on them, all this other stuff. Treat them like crap. And what happens is Lelouch growing up, his mother ends up dying in some weird plot thing, which you'll see later on in the second season. And he wants revenge. That's where his anger comes from towards his father, the king. So anyway, it takes place as him, I think, in high school. He's probably 16, 17, I believe. And he's kind of trying to look out for his sister as well. He has a sister named Nunnally who is blind and in a wheelchair. And again, you'll figure out more about that at the same time you figure out what happened to his mother. It's a crazy little thing that happened. Anyway, he's trying to look out for her and keep their origins a secret. And it opens up with him, I think, playing chess with one of his brothers. There's a bunch of kids that the king had, and they're all about the same age. But anyway, he's playing chess with his brother. He always wins against him. He beats him. He ends up beating him. And on his way back to the school that he lives at with his sister, he ends up running into a battlefield where the 11s are fighting back. And he ends up commandeering one of the Britannian mechs. And from there, he starts giving orders to the 11s that are fighting. And they don't trust him at first because they can't see his face, but he doesn't want to show his face because he believes that one of the 11s is a student that goes to the same school as him. And obviously he's trying to keep it hidden that he's, half and half. So he just tells them what to do. They end up winning. And then from there, like the next mission that they run out, he ends up meeting a girl named C2 who gives him a special power called Geass. And what Geass, or this particular Geass does that she gives him, is the power of the kings, which I believe is absolute word or something like that it's also referred to as, where anything he tells somebody who's looking at him, or looks him in the eye, they have to obey. And it gets really crazy with what he can do with it and how it all works. But I won't go into all that. I'll just leave you guys with that. As for rating, I would say there is some fan servicey stuff. I think there's partial nudity. I don't think it's anything. If anything, it's just the top, like breasts and that. If anything, I don't think there is though. I think it's just partial. There's a little bit of swearing. There is some blood every now and there's actually quite a bit of blood. There are some scenes that are kind of, I guess, brutal. I wouldn't say they're like over the top or anything. Just he orders some guards when he first gets the power to kill themselves, and you see like blood splattering across the wall as they all just die, or he orders them to die. But yeah. Anyway, that's Code Geass. Hopefully you guys go check it out at Funimation. They have both series as well as I think the side series, Akito the Exiled, which takes place in between 1 and 2 and explains what happens to Lelouch. Something happens at the end of season 1. If you're curious again, go check out the anime. But yeah, let's see. If you guys ever want a more in-depth series about these anime that I recommend, feel free to put down in the comment section. I wouldn't mind doing another separate series altogether where I go more in depth with these and like my thoughts on the show in general, instead of giving you guys just a vague spoiler-free description of the show so you guys can go check it out. But yeah, so with that, that has been Archon TV What episode 8. We will hope to see you back next week for episode 9. It's going to be a little weird because I'm not going to be home for episode 9. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get get the recording done for it. The audio might be a little off. Hopefully you guys don't frown too much upon it, but we'll be back next week for sure. Better audio quality. So until then, I will see everybody later. Hopefully I'll see you guys on stream before this Saturday. I'm going to try to stream a little bit beforehand. It won't be as long as what it usually is. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching. Catch you later.